shrank down to insect size, a single raindrop would hit you like a falling boulder. You'd have to dodge birds swooping down, mistaking you for food. Encountering an ant colony would be like facing an army. Their powerful mandibles could cause serious harm, and a swat from a cat's paw would send you flying through the air. Even the vibrations from human footsteps would feel like earthquakes. If you shrank down to insect, if you burn yourself, some people might apply butter, thinking that it will soothe the wound. But the greasy substance actually creates a barrier that prevents heat from escaping. This can cause the burn to deepen, damaging even more layers of the skin. Using ice can freeze the tissue and constrict blood vessels. The extreme cold can reduce blood flow to the wound and slow the healing process, which is why you should just stick to cool running water. If you burn yourself, they load a grenade into the barrel of the launcher. Gunpowder was previously poured into the firing pan, and the hammer was secured with flint. When the trigger is pulled, the flint strikes the steel, creating sparks. These sparks ignite the gunpowder in the pan, sending a flame through the touch hole into the main charge. The burning ignites the powder behind the grenade, propelling it out of the barrel. As the grenade flies, a timed fuse burns, allowing it to explode after reaching the target. They load a grenade into the barrel. When pressure is applied, it immediately releases a locking mechanism that holds back tensioned metal jaws. Then, powerful springs activate, causing the jaws to rapidly snap shut around the person's legs. The sharp spikes on the inner surface penetrate the skin deeply, creating a painful and secure grip. The trap is attached to a heavy chain anchored to the ground, preventing the person from escaping. If a kangaroo is being chased by a dog, it might jump into a... When a tattoo gun enters your skin, a needle... If a kangaroo is being chased by a dog, it might jump into a river. Now, once in the water, the kangaroo waits. The dog, following the chase, will usually swim after it. As the dog swims closer, the kangaroo grabs it with its powerful arms and sharp claws. Next, it pushes the dog's head underwater and holds it there, trying to drown it. With its strong claws, the kangaroo grips tight, using its weight to keep the dog submerged until it stops moving. If a kangaroo is being chased, when a tattoo gun enters your skin, a needle rapidly punctures the surface, creating tiny wounds. This needle moves up and down at high speeds, driven by an electric motor, and draws ink from a reservoir. As the needle pierces, it injects ink into the middle layer of your skin. With each puncture, the ink settles among the cells, forming the design. This repetitive action builds the tattoo, layer by layer, allowing the creation of detailed designs. A group of robbers began digging a tunnel beneath Baker Street in London in 1971. Their goal was to break into the vault of Lloyd's Bank next door. You see, they rented a nearby store and used it as their base, working every weekend night to dig through the ground towards the vault. The timing was perfect. Roadwork had disabled the vault's floor alarms. Using walkie-talkies to communicate, they thought they were in the clear. But someone overheard their conversations and called the police. Officers checked the vault door, but since it was still locked, they didn't think anything was wrong. The robbers escaped with £3 million, about $51 million today, but they got caught because one of them used their real name to rent the store. A group of robbers began digging a tunnel beneath Baker Street. A family ran from their burning home in the middle of the night. Poop ran down her legs as she pushed through the marathon, determined to cross the finish line. When runners push their bodies to the limit, blood flows away from the gut to power the muscles. Plus, the constant bouncing, sloshing food in the stomach, and pre-race nerves all contribute to the need to go to the bathroom. So a lot of runners will either choose to or accidentally poop themselves instead. Poop ran down her legs as she... The teats are held firmly, and the milker gently pulls down. This motion triggers the release of oxytocin, the hormone that bonds a cow to her calf. The muscles in the udder then contract, pushing the milk through the ducts and into the teats. It then streams into a bucket where it's collected. The cow is given a treat, and the milker gets to keep the fresh milk. The teats are held firmly, and the milk they would be placed into a sack alongside a monkey, a snake, and a chicken. This punishment was saved for people who killed their parents. Once sealed, the sack was thrown into a river. As the person inside struggled to breathe, the panicked animals would attack, creating a chaotic and brutal scenario. The goal was to ensure that the punishment was as horrifying as the crime. They would be placed into a sack alongside a monkey. The tiny spoon enters the ear and gently scrapes wax from the canal's walls, scooping it out. This reduces risk of blockages and damage to the eardrum because it pulls the wax away, as opposed to cotton swabs, which can actually push the earwax further in. Now, some people also use this tool to reach into their nostrils and scoop out boogers. Just be sure to clean it regularly. The tiny spoon If you shoot a bullet at a really thick book, some people think it would go right through. But is that actually true? Well, as the bullet enters the book, each page creates friction that slows it down. The dense layers of paper fibers absorb the bullet's energy, causing it to decelerate rapidly. And in many cases, especially with handguns, the bullet probably wouldn't make it all the way through if the book is at least 7 inches thick. If you shoot a bullet at a really thick
You can always tell when someone grew up with strict parents because I had this friend when I was younger, and the first time he came over to my house, we went into my room to play video games, and after he walked in, I asked him to shut the door, but he looked at me as if I just asked him if he wanted to rob a bank, and then he was like, "You can do that?" So I was like, "Yeah, of course, that's what doors do, they shut." Then he was like, "No, but I mean your parents won't get mad if you shut the door?" Then he said something that was hilarious, but also really sad at the same time, which was, "Last time I tried shutting my bedroom door, my parents got so angry that they took the door out of the wall, and now I don't have one anymore." Then he showed me a picture of his room, and he literally doesn't have a door anymore. But the worst part was my mom heard him say this, so she used this as a reason to be like, "See, Tyler, aren't I such a cool parent for letting you have a door?" And I was like, I think that's pretty normal, Mom. But yes, you are the best. You can always tell when
If you shoot a bullet at a really thick book, some people think it would go right. A family ran from their burning home in the middle of the night. Poop ran down her legs as she pushed through. The teats are held. The tiny spoon. If you shoot a bullet at a really thick book, some people think the trap is made up of 3 sticks to balance a heavy weight, like a rock, above the ground. But once the bait stick is moved, the structure collapses and the weight drops quickly. This sudden force is enough to trap or kill the prey instantly. It's a simple yet deadly design, using gravity and the animal's own movements to set off the trap. The trap is made up of 3 sticks. They'll access the stomach through an incision if you have stomach tumors. Then they'll carefully detach it from surrounding organs and blood vessels. Next, they remove the stomach completely from your body. Then they connect your esophagus directly to your small intestine, so food can still pass through. Without a stomach, your body can't store and break down food as before. You'll need to eat smaller, more frequent meals. They'll access the stomach through an incision if you have stomach tumors. Then they'll carefully detach it from surrounding organs and blood vessels. Next, they remove the stomach completely from your body. Then they connect your esophagus directly to.
Here's how you're gonna grow your following with.
If you
Here's how you're gonna grow your following.
If you shot at a massive amount of tightly woven strands of spider silk, the force might actually be absorbed, and the bullet could be stopped. This is because spider silk is made of proteins that are incredibly stretchy and strong. As the silk stretches, it could distribute the force over a larger area, reducing the impact. In theory, if you were able to weave enough to fix onto a vest, it might actually work as bulletproof armor. If you shot at a massive amount of When you pour water on a grease fire, the water quickly sinks below the burning oil. The intense heat instantly converts the water into steam, which expands violently, launching the burning oil above it into the air. This sudden expansion causes fireballs to explode, rapidly spreading the flames. The fire can quickly ignite nearby surfaces, making the situation even more dangerous. When you